Welcome to this edition of the Boon of Wireless podcast, coming to you as always high above the streets of northern New Jersey at ANJ Media. Yes, New Jersey, where our state has more scientists and engineers per square mile than anywhere else in the world. Andrew, if that's the case, why can't they fix our traffic?
I don't know, John.
Okay, well, if you don't know, nobody does. Okay, I'm your host, Jon Horovitz from Atrium Unlimited Consulting. Our guest today is a serial entrepreneur. Pat O'Brien is currently the president and founding partner at Ensurety Ventures, a multifaceted company that among its holdings are Liberty Mobile Inc. and a new exciting product that we're going to speak about today, VMed Mobile. Pat has been at the helm of Ensurety for 24 years. It was founded to promote the sale of automotive property and casualty insurance and home owner programs to customers of auto dealerships. The company expanded to offer vehicle service contracts to dealership customers and then moved into the direct-to-consumer aftermarket vehicle service contract arena, where they quickly grew to one of the largest VSC brokers in the country. In 2018, they purchased Driven Solutions, a 54-year-old motor club previously owned by Ford and Citigroup. Today, they market products through direct-to-consumer channels, automobile dealerships, independent repair facilities, independent insurance agencies, credit unions, employee benefits programs, cell phone retailers, etc. This month, with the launch of VMed Mobile, Pat's company is entering the health and wellness field with a unique patent-pending product that is a great tool for self-monitoring, VMed, VMED, a mobile biometric device for health and wellness. We're also going to do a first on the Boon of Wireless podcast today, a live product demo. That should be exciting. So please join me in welcoming Pat to the broadcast. Mr. Pat O'Brien, how are you, Pat?
I'm good, John. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's great to have you, and it's more important, it's great to see you again. So, let's jump right into it. We have a lot to cover today. Let's start off by getting to know you a little bit. Take us through your journey as an entrepreneur and how you ended up in the mobile wireless field.
Well, it's kind of interesting. John, you did a really good job of describing my background, so I don't have to spend a lot of time on it.
Okay.
It was actually very good. Yeah, just to kind of back that up a little bit, I had been working with a very, very large insurance brokerage firm out of Chicago, Illinois for a few years, went to work for a large lender by the name of Bank One for a few years, and that's where I kind of cut my teeth in this business. And when we started the project back in 2000 to actually start to sell product through car dealerships and whatnot and their databases, we started to learn a lot about the direct-to-consumer business. And it's really where we cut our teeth. But I think one of the bigger things that we saw in our business is that we never wanted to be in a situation where we were not the supplier of the products and services that we had. So as you talked a little bit about our background, the one thing we would do is we'd either build a product or we'd go out and buy a product, so that when we put a product together, it was all wholly owned within what we do. And that's why when you look at the different things that we do, when you talk about the extended warranties that we do, we're the administrator of the program, we're the obligor of the program, we go out and get the insurance, we're the roadside assistance company, we have the relationships with the network of tow truck drivers, we adjudicate all the claims. And so it's really been that focus to be able to make sure that we had the products in line, because at the end of the day, those products are ultimately going to get used by a consumer. And we want to make sure that we're the ones that are protecting the customer and making their journey good. So that's how we built our programs, and everything that we look at, we try to own completely.
Tell us a little bit about a couple of your holdings, Omega and Drive America.
Yeah, so Omega, in and of itself, they're product names. And essentially what we do, and John, to your point, all we really did is we went out and we built contracts that were specific to customers, really with the mindset of when that car got into a service department, I wanted the claim paid. And for all the good reasons, because the customer's obviously paying a lot of money for it. But secondly, if you're not covering the customer completely, what are you really selling them? And so that's how we built those programs. And then we started getting into home warranty, and we found the same type of situation in home warranty, that a lot of people sell a product of lesser value but lesser coverage. And we're always the people that go the most coverage we possibly can. And if you don't want it, we'll back it out. Well, when we went to obviously start to put together roadside assistance packages and programs, There again, same type of thing. A lot of people have roadside and a lot of different products they have, but they don't understand that it's not going to cover them to get a very far tow because it's a cheaper product. So it's always about the consumer, making sure that that consumer can use the program. And then as we start to talk about a lot of the other things and literally how we got into to Liberty, is we started to see that there were certain things that we could bring to the consumer that weren't necessarily products that were traditional to a home warranty, but we knew that they would have usage of that particular thing. As an example, we'll give away free cell phone coverage for a period of 90 days just to allow the customer to actually experience what our service contract is on phones, and then be in a situation where they could use it later to upsell.
You mentioned Liberty a couple times, and I did as well in the intro. So you purchased Liberty Mobile Inc. earlier this year in 2024. Tell us, Liberty Mobile, MVNO, multiple networks, one networks, you're allowed to say their names?
Well, I think it really started with first seeing the VMed device, and getting involved with Liberty was more about us looking at ways that we could insure their products through an extended warranty at the very beginning. And as we started to get in and look at other products and services that they were offering, the one thing I kept seeing with Liberty, it was very similar to other things that we developed. Okay, it's an MVNO. We're licensed with all the carriers without going down the line of all the carriers that we're licensed with. It's got its own 3PL. So we have the ability to distribute product and services out of there. And again, we have enough of a platform, including a very, very robust sales and activation network, that we can put together programs specifically for people, but it's all turnkey. I don't have to go buy a lot of the stuff anywhere else. So it was real easy for me to make that transition. And then as we saw the opportunity to be able to really go out and market the VMed product, it made a whole heck of a lot of sense to have a great network behind us in terms of being able to put subscription programs in place and then do other things based on what our clients' needs are. Because at the end of the day, it's really about the clients and what their customers need. And it gives us the ability to be able to be not only turnkey, but be flexible in terms of the benefits we offer to everybody.
Okay, so now you're introducing a mobile product called VMed, VMED, a mobile biometric device for health and wellness. And this is it right here. We're going to do a demo on this later, but let me just show the folks. It's a small credit card type device that we're going to show you how this works. So what was the impetus for bringing out VMed at this time?
Well, obviously, I think we all went through COVID, right? So when we first saw the device, it was just in late September of 2020. And as we started to look at the device, the thing that I noticed right off the get-go was that when you think about when you're going to urgent care, and if you've ever had to do that, it's a fun experience, right? You sit around in a waiting room waiting to go into an office. You get in the office, and what are they going to do? You sit in there, wait for them to come in and take your vital signs so they can start to figure out what's going on. And when we looked at this device, obviously it's doing everything that you would have done by a nurse practitioner when you're sitting in urgent care waiting to figure out whether or not they can help you or not. I think at the same time, if the guy with kids and kids getting out of college, a lot of friends of mine had kids that had gone to work for telemedicine companies and saw that this was becoming more and more a thing within hospitals. And so as you look at this device, I think the simplest thing to tell you about it is when you go sit down, it's going to do your temperature. It's going to do your O2 sat. It's going to do your blood pressure. It's going to look at your heart rate. It's going to do all these different things. And at the end of the day, if they're not normal to you and you think that you need to continue on to go to telemedicine, you don't have to get in your car and do it. You simply go to the app, you hit an icon on our app, and immediately you're on the phone talking to a telemed doctor. And the great thing is it's all in your control. You're talking to them with your vital signs. There's no compliance issues from our perspective in terms of sharing information with the doctor because the patient actually is. And at the end of the day, if they're going to have to help you in any way, shape, or form that involves a prescription drug, there's an ability to be able to use our platform to get your generic prescription drugs sent directly to your home. So in essence, it's a one-stop shop for you to be able to obviously not have to go out of the way to take care of yourself. Obviously, multiple use from that perspective. But at the end of the day, if you need to go to the doctor, we're going to be able to tell you to go to the doctor.
This commercially available today?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and without sharing any internal information. How has the reception to this product been?
The reception's been incredible, and just because of just the sheer nature of where we can market this product and who thinks it's a viable product. And you start to talk about clinical studies, talk about health insurance companies that want to track their patients. It's just a couple of things, but then literally in and of itself, the retail opportunity that it presents. I mean, if you really think about it, it's got a thermometer in it. Everybody wants a thermometer. There's so many people using blood pressure things. I talk about the fact that I was out in LA last week. Somebody got sick on a plane. They didn't know what was wrong with them, right? Perfect scenario for it to be on a plane because you can get somebody's vital signs. So there's just a number of different places that we can take the product. And the interest in each one of them is in and of itself interesting to the actual silo of that. I mean, clinical study people are going crazy about it.
Great. Why don't we show our audience and our listeners, if you're on our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see it. If you're on one of our other channels, you may want to go over to the YouTube channel and take a look at this. We'll put the information up on the screen while we're doing the demo. So why don't we show our listeners how this thing works? Okay.
So yeah, John, here's the device. We've taken the packaging off of it. And when you open up the device itself, as you showed and pointed out earlier, it literally is, probably a 1/4 inch thick. These are actual sensors, medical grade sensors. They're Texas Instruments sensors. On the device itself, you have the measurement sensors. You also have the temperature, which is very similar to you taking temperature. You just hold it up to your head and it's going to measure that out for you.
Okay.
Now, the key to this is everything is on your app. Okay. So as we talked about a little bit before, you can measure, you can go to your pharmaceutical area. There's obviously other things that we've got on this app as health and wellness type of scenarios. But when you go to measure, it's very simple. You simply just hit the icon that says measure on your app.
Top left, right?
All right. And as I said to you before, this, because it's Bluetooth, now that button was red, it is now blue, meaning it's ready to start testing.
Okay.
So now the thing with this is that it's going to take about a minute to get through the entire thing. And you can see what ends up coming up is it's measuring my O2 sat. It shows you what my heart rate was during that time period, how many breaths I actually took, and what my blood pressure is right there.
A very healthy man, Pat.
Very. Yeah. It's a good Monday, John.
Okay. Do it again on Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that you have that information, and you talked earlier about telemedicine, using your phone, how could you transmit that information?
So at this point, all we really want the client to do is to keep this information on their own until we get to a point where, from a compliance perspective, that we're actually, doing the things from a HIPAA compliance and that type of thing. The thing that we don't want to do right now is put ourselves in a position of using the consumer's information to do things. So all we simply ask is when you hit save on this, it's going to save those vitals to your record within your health record. Okay. So then you want to bounce back to the doctor and you think that, hey, I better probably go talk to somebody, right? I just went back out to the app. I hit on my medical doctor. There's a login and a password for me to get through to that. Obviously, that's self-stores, and it goes through to the next level. If that doctor decides at that point in time that I need to go to the pharmacy, it's the same thing. It's all built within your wallet. So your pharmacy, as you can see, my pharmaceutical card's already set up right in there, all ready to go. So I can get my scripts.
That's great. That's terrific. That is very simple to use. I understand there is a tutorial video. There's also an instruction book that comes with, and there's also some other stuff that comes in the package, some other offers and a how-to and some other good stuff about some of the other products you talked about.
Yeah, and I think it's important to also know that we are, from my background, we've also included the actual warranty on the unit itself, so that in the event something happens to it, we can replace that unit for you in the event that it breaks.
That's great. Okay. Well, thanks, Pat. That was a great demo, easy to use, obviously a live demo. You always get nervous when you do one, but proof is in the pudding right there. Okay. Let's get back to the product itself and the marketing of the product. Is this a standalone hardware sale or is it tied into a rate plan with Liberty?
It actually is a standalone device. And the reason that it's so easy to be standalone is because it's Bluetooth compatible with anything. And obviously pretty much 100% of the devices in the world run on Bluetooth. So the device will connect to any phone on any platform anywhere in the world.
In the world.
As far as the product is concerned, yes.
Wow, terrific. Okay, and I know you mentioned it earlier on in our discussion that you're able to use this product on every network. So for the U.S. market, the big three networks, and anything beyond that with the smaller regional guys.
Right, it can be used on any platform, on any service at all that you would want. And I think when you look at it from the standpoint of B&O, it's an opportunity for them to have increased revenue because they can sell a product they can hook right onto the phone that they've sold to somebody, or the monthly subscription they put in. Now, where it ties into where there's other opportunity is obviously in our platform. It would give them the opportunity to be involved in our service fee that includes their telemedicine and their pharmaceutical, but certainly not necessary to sell the unit.
Okay, interesting. Very good. So tell us about how you're going to sell this. Is it going to be e-commerce? Are you going the traditional distribution paths that are in the wireless through like I said, the MVNOs, the dealers, agents, and to tag onto that domestically and internationally?
Yeah, so I think really where we're looking to go is we're going to go in all those places. Quite frankly, we think each one of them has their own particular niche for us. But again, at the end of the day, we really feel necessary to have customer interaction with people that have relationships with people. The better relationships they have with people, the better sticky rate we're going to get. And certainly from the standpoint of opportunity with partners like you're talking with us about, that's where we're looking to try to market the product.
Well, I think there's a big opportunity coming up that we all know about. In 4 days from now is the All Wireless Prepaid Expo in Las Vegas. That's August 27th, 28th at Caesars. And I understand that we're going to be able to see the product there.
Yes. Yeah. And it's full regalia, hopefully.
Okay.
As they say.
So if I can't make it to the show and I want to learn more about VMed and Liberty Mobile Inc., how do I reach your company?
So, John, there's a couple ways to go about doing that. Obviously, anybody at any time can go to vmedmobile.com to kind of see the platform itself.
Yep, there it is on the
screen.
And
also, you can contact us directly at distributors@vmedmobile.com, and we'll have somebody reach right back out to you. Well,
Pat, it was very educational and enlightening to see you demo a device like this. So thank you. And I want to thank you for coming on. It was good to see you again. I'll see you in 4 or 5 days out in Las Vegas. And
appreciate it.
Again, looking for big things out of this. And this unit retails for $149.99, but as a gift to our viewers and listeners, VMed will give you 10% off your first order. So you go to the website vmedmobile.com and put in the code The Boon with no space. The Boon, 10% off your first order. Pat, thanks again for coming on. I'll see you in a couple of days. And for our listeners out there, that wraps up another episode of the Boon of Wireless. We'll see you next time.